Congressman Madison Cawthorn put out a bizarre message after conceding his North Carolina primary race. In a social media post, Cawthorn told his supporters, "It's time for the rise of the new right. It's time for dark MAGA to truly take command."
I don't know what dark MAGA is. It sounds like some
scary.
type of Star Wars thing, like the dark side of the Force. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Madison did the right thing by conceding. We need to focus on the Democrats.
Hey, it's Alonzo Bowden back with Rebel HQ and TYT, and today we're talking about Madison Cawthorn threatening us with dark MAGA. Well, listen, light MAGA is no picnic, so I don't know what dark MAGA might be, and that's just the point. Dark MAGA is nothing. Is dark MAGA the black guy who showed up at every Trump rally? I don't know, but it's nonsense. Why are they wasting time worried about Madison Cawthorn? Listen, the minute you rat out the coke-filled orgies, your political career is over. These Congress people love their coke-filled orgies, Madison. You can't go ratting that out and expect to get reelected. He's gone. Stop wasting time talking about this dark MAGA. Even if there were some kind of evil organization in the dark web, leave that to the FBI. That's their job. Democrats, you got much bigger problems than Madison Cawthorn and the dark MAGA. Let Yoda handle that.
The force is not with Madison Cawthorn.
You know, this Republican Party, as we know, has not demonstrated moral courage. It has not, given those of us who have associated with the brand for many years pride. But this is a meaningful loss of Madison Cawthorn's to those of us who would like to see a new party.
Yeah.
And the dark MAGA thing is creepy.
It is slightly creepy. That's true.
The last thing I want to say about dark MAGA is it's comical that Madison Cawthorn would pick a reference from a Star Wars movie, a movie created by George Lucas, who identifies himself as a radical liberal. That's right, Madison. Your dark MAGA comes from the liberal side.
A new development now in a story that broke right as we were coming on the air about this new House Ethics Committee investigation just announced into the person you see on screen here, Congressman Madison Cawthorn, who just lost his primary election.
Cawthorn's office just responding to us. I'm going to read you a piece of it here. They're welcoming the opportunity to prove that Congressman Cawthorn committed no wrongdoing and that he was falsely accused by partisan adversaries for political gain. They reiterate the inquiry is a formality. Their office isn't deterred in the slightest from completing the job the Patriots of Western North Carolina sent us to Washington to accomplish. That job Cawthorn will be in for just a couple more months because, as you mentioned, he lost his primary election. So the House Ethics Committee today announcing that they have launched this investigation for a committee that's often shrouded in secrecy. This is probably the last thing we're going to hear from them until they complete their investigation, which could take several months. But Cawthorn doesn't have that much time left here. So we've seen all of these things kind of play out in the public sphere.
Madison Cawthorn had a chilling sentiment to share just after his defeat in the congressional primary that will take him out of office. "We have an enemy to defeat," he wrote, "but we will never be able to defeat them until we defeat the cowardly and weak members of our own party. Their days are numbered. We are coming. The time for Gentile politics as usual has come to an end. It's time for the rise of the new right. It's time for dark MAGA." The House Ethics Committee has just announced an investigation into Cawthorn despite his loss in a unanimous vote centered on only two of his many missteps. The first is a complaint filed by an anti-Cawthorn super PAC with the Office of Congressional Ethics, alleging Cawthorn provided housing, travel, and loans to a staffer, which they said was improperly disclosed. The staffer was Cawthorn's cousin, Stephen Smith, who accompanied Cawthorn on his honeymoon in Dubai, allegedly on the congressman's dime. The second thing the committee will be investigating is in response to a report that suggested that Cawthorn may have violated insider trading laws by promoting a cryptocurrency called Let's Go Brandon. Cawthorn insists that both claims are ridiculous, and to be fair, Cawthorn is so downright stupid and self-admittedly wanted to use his time in office not to get anything done, but to be a troll, that I'm not surprised he had no idea that there were rules in Congress. But now, finally, that lax approach is kicking him in the butt. As we all know, Cawthorn's political career has probably had the most amount of public scandals scandals in history for its short tenure. He was elected to Congress in 2021, and as the New Republic writes, quote, he spent the 3 years that made up the period between the start of his congressional campaign and his defeat on Tuesday, leapfrogging from one tawdry debacle to the next. But things got especially problematic for him when he started lashing out against his own party, saying on a podcast that Republicans had offered him cocaine and invited him to orgies. It's incredibly interesting that for the past few years, we've had no idea where the line for GOP degeneracy was, with each new scandal leading them farther and farther down a road of complete moral vacuousness. But finally, we know where they draw the line.